Hello lovelies and welcome back to my channel. So today I wanted to chat with you all about my second trimester. I am now just in my third trimester, I think. I'm going to double check in a minute and let you know exactly. I'm a second time mum. This is my second pregnancy and I have Hashimoto's hypothyroidism and I've got a toddler who is almost 2 years old. So this is just all about what I've been through this last few months, how I've been feeling, all the different experiences, and also because I know a lot of you that watch are in a similar situation with your thyroid too. I'm going to share exactly what medication I've been taking and how it's developed and progressed through this pregnancy and through this trimester. So grab your cup of tea and let's get going. So first up, I'm going to look in my diary and I'm exactly at the end of my second trimester, I think. I'm 27 weeks pregnant, next week 28. And I'll show you my bump. There we go, that's the bump. I do feel, I'm sitting on a really crickety chair by the way, just to warn you, every time I move it's annoying. I think with this pregnancy the bump is a lot bigger. With Rue, I was pretty much this size when I gave birth, and this time around, I feel like I'm going to get a lot bigger, so that's going to be interesting. I don't think I've put on actual weight particularly, like I don't weigh myself, because I just can't be bothered, and I haven't felt like I've changed massively, but of course I know I put on weight around my hips and my thighs. Obviously my boobs are a lot bigger, but nothing crazy, which is great. This time around I am experiencing some itching on my bump, which makes me think I might get stretch marks, but I do moisturize my bump and my breasts as well with rosehip oil or coconut oil to try and stave off as many of those stretch marks as I possibly can. With my first pregnancy I was really lucky and I didn't get many at all, so I'm fingers crossed this time around will be the same. So the first trimester was definitely an experience. I had morning sickness, I had bleeding, and overall I was exhausted. The second trimester, luckily I have been quite typical in the way that my energy levels have gone up a bit. I haven't had any bleeding. All got sick around Christmas time unfortunately, so I was obviously feeling a bit run down and tired at that point, and I noticed it was a lot harder to fight off the cold. My husband recovered a lot quicker than I did, even my toddler recovered quicker than I did. So it's been a little bit more trickier. Whenever I catch something it's harder to get rid of it. But overall I've been feeling pretty good. The morning sickness has only just started to creep back in recently in the last week, so I'm wondering whether that might be a third trimester symptom for me, but it's nothing too bad and it doesn't stop me in my tracks in any way. I had movement really early on in this pregnancy. I think it was 13 weeks that I started to feel kicks, and well, not kicks, but I felt movement. And I think this is because this is my second pregnancy and this time I knew what to expect. So when I felt those flutters, sorry my phone is going off, it's really annoying. When I felt those flutters I knew that it was pregnancy related. Well, I think with Rue I just wasn't quite sure, so I held off, and I think it was about 18 weeks that I felt the first movements with him. But with this little guy, and yes it's a boy, with this little guy I felt the movements around 13 weeks, so that was really exciting, and they have just got stronger and stronger and stronger, and now I'm at the point where I can see my tummy moving and I can really feel like when he turns around and things like that. So yeah, super intense. I found out the gender at my 20-week scan, and I think that was when I was about 19 weeks I went in for the sort of generic 20-week scan, and that's like a sort of check to make sure everything is looking good and right, and I think everything was fine, so fingers crossed with that one. And yes, we found out it was a boy. I thought it was a girl, to be honest, because I felt so different with this pregnancy, but it just shows you that it's so hard to guess. It's almost impossible to guess. So yes, we're having another boy. As for names, I have no idea. I have got a list at the moment that we're working on, but the problem is the names that I like, my husband doesn't like, and the names that my husband likes, I'm just not mad on. They're very, I think they're too conventional and I want a fun name. So we'll see who wins out, probably him. But I'm very excited to choose a name. I'm hoping to get that done sooner rather than later. I'm definitely not one of those people that wants to leave the name to the last minute. That freaks me out. I want to know well in advance. Now let's get a bit more detailed about this, because I've got a few more interesting symptoms, let's say, and I can't believe I'm going to share this on a video, but anyway, I've definitely noticed that when I sneeze that I have a little accident, not a huge accident, but a little accident. And this is crazy because I never have had this problem with my previous pregnancy at all the recovery. But with this one, it must be a bit bigger or something, because yeah, I am definitely losing control of my pelvic floor already, which is kind of scary. I have been doing the pelvic floor exercises, so I'm hoping that's gonna fix it. But yeah, that's kind of an embarrassing symptom, isn't it? It's not a fun one at all, but this is the joys of pregnancy. At this point in my pregnancy, so right at the end of the second trimester, I've started to feel a lot more uncomfortable. I'm obviously out of breath, you can probably hear that, but I'm getting more pulls, I'm getting sort of like cramps. You might have heard of lightning crutch, that lovely name. I'm definitely getting that too. So I don't really know whether it's Braxton Hicks-Tin's that I'm getting when it's sore up and down here, but very possibly. So that's all started quite recently, which is lovely. Sleep has been quite difficult. I'm a pretty good sleeper anyway, but it doesn't take much now to go into sort of like a night of insomnia, especially when I start noticing how uncomfortable I am. I do have a pregnancy pillow that I sleep with, but to be honest, all it does, it sort of helps open up the knees a bit, so it gives the pelvis a better position for sleeping. But I'm really conscious that I roll onto my front and I'm sleeping on my front, and I know that's bad for the baby. Apparently the weight of the baby pushes on some artery or something, and it can cause you to faint. So that freaks me out so much. So I wake up quite a lot during the night, slightly panicking that I'm on my front, and then turning and then thinking, oh, I should be on my left hand side, that's the best place for it. So I'm a worrier and an overthinker anyway, so that's really gone into my mind. I was also really worried about C-section ruptures, which is really weird. I just picked up on that. I was reading a baby book, I picked up on it and I sort of started to freak out, but I was chatting to my midwife and doula about it, and they put my worries aside, which was great. And on that note, actually, this time round I have banned Google so anytime I have any worries or I'm thinking about pregnancy, I don't Google it, because like I said, I'm a worrier and it makes things so much worse. So if I've got a problem, I just ask my midwife or my doula. That's the end of that. And I even had a baby book, which I have stopped reading because it was starting to just get to me. I just didn't actually want to know. So I just work now with my doula and my midwife, and because this is my second pregnancy anyway, I kind of know what's going on. And I'm also doing hypnobirthing, which I'm really enjoying, and that really entails meditation and affirmations, and then understanding the birthing process properly, so you don't go into it from a place of panic and fear. You go into a place of control, like well, it's sort of out of control, but knowing that your body's doing what it's meant to do and it's all going to be good. So that's exciting. I am trying for a VBAC this time. I had a C-section my last baby. This time I want to try and have a natural vaginal birth, so fingers crossed that works. I'm really excited about that and I really hope it works. But then again, if he's facing the wrong way or whatever, I'm happy enough to go ahead and have a gentle C-section. And the idea behind the gentle C-section is that you still have delayed cord clamping, you still have your skin-to-skin contact, and you can even see the baby being delivered if you want to. So it's not just a surgery, it's a much more of still a birthing experience. So either way, I think it will be a better experience this time around. So as far as things like cravings and food and all that kind of side of it goes, I have been craving chocolate. Like, I crave chocolate all the time anyway, and this has been an excuse for me to eat lots of chocolate. It's so bad that even now I have got chocolate on the windowsill. This is my poison. It's the Lindt sea salt. Oh, it's so good. So yeah, I've been eating a little bit more chocolate than I would like, but I can't really stop myself, to be honest. And then everything else, I've had no more morning sickness, which has been great, and my cravings are pretty much gone. I am quite hungry, but nothing ridiculous, so I just eat whenever I'm hungry and I don't stop myself. I probably drink a lot more milk. I'm usually quite lactose intolerant, but funny enough in this pregnancy it seems to be okay. So if my body wants it, I just have it, and I try not to beat myself up about it too much. I have been taking supplements. I'll show you what I've got. So this is the first supplement I'm taking. It's the Seeking Health, I don't even know if that's focusing, Seeking Health Optimal Prenatal. This stuff is so expensive, guys, it's crazy. But the reason I got it was it has, let me read this out properly to you. It has, instead of folic acid, it's got folate, and then all the B vitamins are methylated versions of B vitamins, and basically it's a lot more easily digestible. And I wanted to take this, this ties in sort of with my hypothyroidism. I wanted to take something that was a little bit more advanced, because of those methylated vitamins are easier to digest if you've got the MTHR genetic code thing. And I don't really know, as you can tell, I don't know a lot about it, but I know that if you have got hypothyroidism, the likelihood of having this MTHR gene is quite high, or whatever it is, and basically it can cause bleeding, it can cause miscarriage and birth defects and things like that. And I do wonder whether I had that with my first pregnancy, because I bled so heavily with it, and this time round I've had a couple of very small minor bleeds, but nothing like what I went through with the first one. And the difference is I am taking these Seeking Health prenatals. The only thing that concerns me about them is that they do seem to have quite a lot of vitamin A, and that's meant to cause birth defects, so I'm sure it'll be fine. They're all approved, and I did my research on them, but like you said, I'm a worrier, so I do worry about everything, but I feel pretty good on these. I don't take them every day now. Obviously when I was first pregnant, I took them every day because I wanted the full folic acid, or folate in this case. But now sometimes I forget, I don't take the full dose, but I usually try and take a few of the tablets, because I think it's 8 tablets a day, which is quite a lot out of this packet. But anyway, the one thing I do take, oh sorry, this chair is so squeaky. The one thing I do take religiously every day is probiotics. I take probiotics every single day, and I also take omega-3, ultra omega-3 fish oil capsules, because I think that really helps as well. It helps with your gut, and that's going to help the baby, and it helps with just everything. Development, the omega-3 is really good for the development of the baby too. So they're all my supplements and how the food side of things has been going. Now on to the thyroid. Okay, so I've got my notebook here, because at the back of this notebook I've written down all my details on my thyroid. So I'm gonna share them with you, because I found this would be I was thinking this would be really useful actually when I was pregnant, and actually before I was pregnant I was quite nervous about the thyroid and how it was going to work with pregnancy. There's not a lot on it, and not a lot of positive stuff on it, so I wanted to share with you the reality of having Hashimoto's hypothyroidism and getting pregnant. So I started off with, before I got pregnant, I started off taking 75 milligrams of levothyroxine 5 days a week and 100 milligrams twice a week. Right now I'm taking 125 milligrams every single day, and I've been doing so since November. And the beginning of my pregnancy I started off really gradually increasing, and it definitely, my thyroid elevated quite a lot in August. End of August my TSH was up to 4.75, which wasn't great, and then very quickly we got on top of that, and by September it was down to 1.51, and then I was on the 125 5 days a week and 100 at the weekends. And now I'm at the point where I'm on a TSH of 2.2 and a T4 of 16, and I'm on the 125 grams 7 days a week, although I have written on my notes 5 days a week, which is really confusing. So it's quite easy now because I'm on the same dose every day. Let me just correct this myself. Now I'm on the same dose every day. It makes life a lot easier because I'm not thinking, oh, I actually need to take 100 or whatever. So I'm actually really happy with that, and I'm feeling really good. I don't have any symptoms of the Hashimoto's hypothyroidism right now. Obviously my hair is nice and thick, and I'm feeling pretty good. And yeah, my tummy's been really good. I think one of the worst symptoms of Hashimoto's for me and the hypothyroidism is the IBS. So my stomach will be sometimes fine and sometimes really easily triggered by stress or anxiety, and it will just go crazy. So while yes, I have got the symptoms of lovely gas and things like that because I'm pregnant, I don't think it's anything too bad, and my tummy has been pretty settled in general, which is great. So yes, I think that's pretty much it for this video. There's not a lot to share. You know, there wasn't a huge amount going on in this second trimester. It was pretty easy going, and apart from putting up my dosage a little bit with the thyroid, it's been a non-event, which has been really nice, and it's been great actually to focus on my baby, my other baby, Rupert. He's been doing so much recently. I need to update you properly on him. He's been saying loads of words. His first word was flower, which was so cute. And yeah, so he's been keeping me very busy. But anyway, I will do a different video about that. I've also got a nursery tour that I want to do for you. I've got lots of nice wooden toys and stuff I want to share. This baby is kicking like mad. So I think I'm going to go put my feet up, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!